From dust to decor, one Texas woman needed a special project to keep her busy in the pandemic, so she turned a 1948 bus into a luxury stay. Eyewitness News reporter Lexi Hazlett takes you inside in this week's Everything 210.
Who ever thought that you could stay in a bus adapted for luxury?
Well, you can. This vintage Greyhound is a vacation rental, not too far from San Antonio.
I started thinking about a renovation project involving some small vintage campers. And since we've also done vacation rentals in the past, I thought, how can I combine that into a unique experience?
The project was completely flipping this 1948 Greyhound into a place where up to 3 people can stay. It had been sitting for years, collecting a ton of dust. But that's not what Brenda noticed.
When you walk into it and you realize, wow, this is really a very roomy space, surprisingly, from wall to wall. Inside it's 280 square feet, which is really a nice sized tiny home. And so I just knew then, as far as this empty shell, that, I could make something out of that.
Brenda worked on the project when the pandemic began because she hated sitting still. And that experience not only turned into a luxury stay, but a rental that's full of history overlooking Canyon Lake.
It's also the effort to, how can I take you back in time to what was going on in the world? It was post-World War II. One of the things that they invented in 1948 was Cheetos, Scrabble. You're gonna find both of those on this bus because I want people to experience like, oh my gosh, I didn't know Cheetos were invented in 1948.
And she took that historical aspect even further.
There was really not a lot of electronics that they could put on a big vehicle like this back then. So we left a lot of those things because I just think that that adds sort of to the fun part of it.
From the steering wheel to the compass that served as GPS, this place tells a story of thousands of people who got on the bus, whether that was for work, school, or to get away. And Brenda hopes that this is a place that people can book for a little trip back in time.
Hopefully it'll become a little Texas gem that, hey, I got to sleep in the doghouse and they weren't even in trouble for it.
And as for advice that she could give to anyone looking for a passion project, she said,
anything that you can set your mind to, you're able to do. And I know that probably sounds very cliche, and that's where I go back to why I like to do these things. It's just a personal challenge. And once you do it, you have such a sense of fulfillment and achievement out of doing something that you didn't know you could do.
Lexi Hazlett, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.